Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Outkick dated October 10th, and it's called Washington Post Rips Chicago Blackhawks for Giving Grant Money to Tribe, and that's like an actual Native American tribe, says accuses team of paying for silence. And I did already read this article and it's as dumb as it sounds, but we're going to go through it because I've mentioned a lot of times about the Washington Redskins thing, and that's their actual name, not the Commanders, because screw that. And so I was just like, and the Blackhawks are my hometown hockey team, so I had to look into this, and it's going to get stupid real quick here. So we're going to skip past Charlie talking to Rob Smith here and go to the article. It says the Chicago Blackhawks are gearing up to kick off their 2023 should be 2023-24 season. That's 11 years worth. Damn, good for them. So it's the 2023-24 season on Tuesday. So what better time to publish an article criticizing the team's logo and charitable contributions? And by the time you hear this, what they made on Tuesday is October 10th. It's actually when I'm recording this video, but it's probably not going to come out for a few days. I got other more current things coming out ahead of it. So that's what they mean by that. Just wanted to throw that out there. So it says if you ask the Washington Post, which no one did and no one wants to, there is no better time. As woke sports writers continue to wage war on Native American themed sports identities, the Washington Post's Kevin Blackistone has decided to put the Blackhawks in his crosshairs. Never mind that some Native groups fighting to reinstate the former franchise names that have been changed. Blackistone knows better than everyone else that the name is offensive, because of course it's a white person that has to do this. You can't actually let the actual groups themselves go, no, we're cool with it, which I've said this in all the other Redskins videos is there's overwhelming Native American support for the teams that have Native American names. Overwhelming. Like it's not close. Okay. So of course there's some white leftists that's got to come in and go, oh no, this is demeaning and racist. And it's like, F off, dude. Like the actual people who are this ethnicity want it. So shut the hell up. It says, so back to the article. It says, and the club's biggest crime is giving grant money to the Sac and Fox tribe, which Blackhawk, the team's namesake, led in the 19th century. Yeah, that's horrible, Blackhawks. How dare you? Says the veteran sports writer received the Sac and Fox Nation's annual governing council treasurer's report. That's a big long name there. Says in it, it was revealed that the Blackhawks organization had given them $433,000. Can I get $433,000, Blackhawks? Says, and the problem with that is what exactly? Well, let's let Kevin Blackistone give his take. Oh, this ought to be fun. Says that's almost $500,000 the Chicago team has given Sac and Fox in what looks like an attempt to purchase indigenous support for its misappropriation of native iconography, Blackistone wrote. How could he possibly know that? I mean, seriously, there's no way he can know that. That's just a random assumption that he made because he's an idiot. Because he's mad because it looks like they're trying to purchase support. In that case, I'm mad that that this article looks like it's trying to make a compelling point. Good one. It could just be that the team is giving money to the Sac and Fox as part of their charitable initiatives. Every NHL team does things like that. Yeah, that's what I would have thought. If this dude came to me and was like, "Look at what they're doing," I would have been like, "And?" Like, what's the story here? Oh, there isn't one. Okay. Anyway, back to the article. It says, meh, there's nothing to get angry over if that's the case. So it says the Blackhawks outline their charitable endeavors. It says the Blackhawks sent a statement when asked about the contributions. Of course, they gave a lot of money that is being used for a lot of good. The Blackhawks Foundation offers grants to numerous organizations every year, including through a formal partnership with the Sac and Fox Nation, the ancestral tribe of our namesake, Blackhawk. Currently, our partnership and the grant dollars are focused on supporting education, veterans, health, cultural continuity. I did say, okay, I thought that word said something different for a minute. That's why I paused. And tribal elders and allows investment in the future of the tribe. The team also mentioned that the money is used to help fund K through 12 education initiatives. They partner with the Sac and Fox Nation to leverage their business acumen to help the tribe achieve its long-term goals. Yeah, but their name in jerseys. The Blackistone wrote that one of the problems was how the deal with the Blackhawks was made. A small group of tribal leaders worked it on behalf of the 4,000 members of the Sac and Fox Nation. Okay. Again, I go, and what's the problem here? This is pretty much how everything is done anywhere, but it still ruffled his feathers because he doesn't know how things work. He's a leftist. These are stupid people. So it is all part of an agreement with the franchise struck a year ago with Sack and Fox leadership, which is just a handful of people representing about 4,000 members, mostly in Oklahoma, many of whom don't share the leadership's association with the hockey team, he wrote. So he thinks people would turn down $500,000 in grant money because they don't like a hockey team's name, one that honors one of the most esteemed members of the tribe. All right, at least that's the wildest claim in the piece, right? Right? Which means it's most certainly not. So Blackstone accused the Blackhawks of sports washing, which is a term I'd never heard of until I read this article. It says, like the Saudis. It says the article accuses the Blackhawks of sports washing, which could be the wildest claim in a piece full of wild claims. You know what all this is? No matter the Chicago franchise's argument that it is acting out of compassion, it smacks as another form of sports washing, the piece reads. So again, he's just making shit up because why the hell not? Because he just doesn't like it. There's a 21st century portmanteau that sums up how institutions treading in controversy use sport to deflect the public's attention from what may be problematic and maybe to burnish an institution's regard in the process. Yeah, that's one hell of a stretch, it says there, and I was just about to say the exact same thing, word for word. Is China hosting the Olympics or the Saudis paying billions to host F1 races and sign Cristiano Ronaldo playing for a club within their borders in a bid to work some sleight of hand and draw attention away from blatant human rights violations? That is sports washing. Says donating money to help fund tribal education is not, and there should be a period at the end of that sentence. But yeah, I mean, like, there's literally nothing the Blackhawks did here that's wrong. This guy is off his freaking rocker. He's an activist. He is not a journalist. Okay, and if the Washington Post had any standards, which I think we all know they do not, they would look at this guy and would have told him before this article came out, like, do you have any actual story here to report on? Like, throw this away, it's garbage, and go sit down and write something that people actually need to read. So it says, and we go to the bold-faced part, it says everyone is supposed to be offended by the things they're told to be offended by. Of course, I'm putting that out. Says despite railing against how offensive the Blackhawks name and logo, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs and Atlanta Braves, which weren't mentioned directly by name in what I can only assume was an attempt to protect the innocent, there's no comment from the Sac and Fox Nation if they had a problem with the name, logo, or grant money, and I'm guessing they probably did not. The piece just assumed they were offended. Why? Because it's an indigenous, and they spell wow, they destroyed the word indigenous in this article. Where's the copy editor? It says why? Because it's an indigenous tribe and therefore has to be offended by anything progressives deem problematic. It's the woke way, assume that everyone is offended by everything all the time. Correct. The article does mention that one member of the tribe scoffed at the team for facilitating the donation of a decommissioned helicopter. The unnamed person said it wasn't maybe the best idea, given that the tribe didn't need a helicopter. Oh, okay. This is especially when many members are veterans dealing with PTSD. Okay, yeah, they probably don't need a helicopter then. That's fair enough. But that was the only criticism from any member mentioned in the article, and the extent was a scoffing. Okay, so someone just kind of went off and just that was it. This is damned if you do, damned if you don't, just the way progressives want it. It says finally, the piece, which was short, mercifully, so probably shorter than this article, ends with a comment on what Blackstone sees as a shameful decision by the NHL to have the Blackhawks open their season the day after Indigenous Peoples Day, otherwise known as Columbus Day, which is really what it is. It says that's a bizarre thing to get hung up on. This would be like getting mad Blackstone. This would be like getting mad. Blackstone also griped that the Blackhawks, Chiefs, and Braves charitable initiatives with tribes were about altruism. Okay, that sentence didn't make any sense to me, but okay, whatever. Let's just keep going. This is a perfect example of the way the woke left attacks issues like this. Writers like Blackstone want the name to change. Why? They say it's because it's offensive, but it sure seems like they just get off on telling people what to do. So they attack the issue by getting mad that the Blackhawks are making charitable contributions. Now let's imagine the Blackhawks said, fine, no more giving to the Sac and Fox Nation. Imagine the number of articles screeching about how evil the Blackhawks were. Yeah, that's the other thing is like if they stop giving money to the group, then this guy would be writing, well, why did they stop doing that? He just doesn't know what he's doing. So in this case, the Blackhawks are in a lose-lose situation, which is precisely what progressives want. They want people to think their only option is to bend the knee to their demands, which of course it isn't. So it's good on the Blackhawks for sending a response and outlining the good they've been doing. That's the best way to stick it to to a charity shaming Hail Mary, especially like the Washington Post and Blackstone through the day before the season starts. If it was that urgent of a matter, why not write that piece over the summer? If it was that pressing, why not sound the alarm immediately? Because it'll get the most clicks as the season starts. Duh. So if anyone is using the Sac and Fox Nation for their own gain, it's not the Blackhawks, it's the Washington Post. Yep. And comments here and basically saying the Washington Post is trash, but you're listening to me, so you knew that already. So What do you guys think about this? It's just this writer being an idiot is what I'm going to say about it. And go Blackhawks. Hope you guys do well this year. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.